not have, unfortunately, John here. I'm actually going to start off, I usually don't start off by introducing a producer right off the bat, but let me tell you, this guy is almost kind of a patron saint of Midnight Madness. He used to work for Lionsgate and bought some amazing titles for them. And like I said, this is where the buyers come every night, and every night he would always be at Midnight Madness because he loves genre films and believes in them. He's brought you many great films, including he picked up High Tension from Midnight Madness. He picked up Undead. He picked up Saw. Many more. Peter Block. And if you saw the title beforehand, I think I know that's Peter's company.
Thanks, Alan. I really appreciate it. I'm here. I represent only one part of the producer group. Mike Marcus, my partner. Andy Spalding, Doug Mankoff from Mega Lake Productions also. We had a great crew working out of Spokane, Rich Cowan and his group, and I especially just want to thank all of you for being here, but especially our partners at Alliance and also Film Nation. You know, you guys make it, though. It's like we work on these movies for a year and a half at a time, and then we don't know. And then we actually get to listen to you guys laugh and listen to you cheer, and that's what makes it all worthwhile for us. So thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate it. This was an exciting night. I know John would be happy. Mike met him already today, and just now, and he gave him the thumbs up. John would have been very happy, and we can't wait to get back to tell him all about it.
So I'd like to bring back onto the stage the cast of The Ward. Jared Harris, Dan Anderson, Mika Royal, Laura Lee, Lindsay Fonseca, Daniel Baker, and Amber Heard. I'm a very lucky All right, so I want to ask, Amber, what the fun thing about this film is that this is almost like John Carpenter's flip side to The Thing. Thing is very totally male-based cast, but here, one of the things which makes the film for me is the great ensemble play between all of you guys. And it's also very rare in genre films today to get that many interesting characters, female characters especially. And this is where I think the film excels, is in the characterization. What attracted you to this project, Anna?
Just that. I mean, I think that part of the reason I'm drawn to this genre in general is that it can be an amazing vehicle for female characters, and you can actually have an amazing opportunity to do something in a movie other than tramp around in a bathing suit. Although I have done that once or twice. What I really loved most about making this movie, along with working with this legend, John Carpenter, is that I worked with these amazing actresses. Jared, you too.
Thank you, Sam. And come out tonight.
At least we didn't wear the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's the good part of this movie is that John Carpenter allowed us to be strong characters without having to take anything from the integrity of real three-dimensional characters, and we got to really play off of each other and learn from each other. So that was what was cool about it.
And the rest of the cast, what attracted you to the film? And are you fans of horror films in general?
I got one, actually.
You got one? No.
I was hiding it. Take it away.
Yeah, I love horror movies. I particularly, for me, I remember seeing Assault Precinct 13 when I was a kid with my two brothers, and I remember all of us coming out of there, and immediately we were making up stories and trying to invent movies of our own. So the chance to work with John Carpenter was fantastic, and being in great company, you know what I mean? It made being on location pretty easy.
I also want to say that this movie is also about multiple personality disorders, and don't forget about that. I think John really created a movie that shows how difficult it is for someone to overcome something like this, and when you do suffer from MPD, you actually do feel like a personality is dying, and that kind of intense ghost that is kind of the theme of, you know, a personality dying is kind of showing how traumatic and horrible that is.
Are you a fan of horror films?
I just like awesome deaths. Right? It's just kind of cool because it's the, you know, the different ways everyone dies. You never know what's going to happen. So, yeah, it's not really that deep for me.
Horror films are a recent sort of attraction to me in my life, but I really enjoyed it. And working with John was, you know, he sort of started this genre back in the 70s, and the fact that he's still making movies is incredible, and it was a great opportunity to work with him.
Same. I saw The Thing when I was 10 years old, and it was just an honor to work with Carpenter, and tough coming to work with all these beautiful girls and bustling Amber Heard. So I just enjoyed myself and tried to be the best in part of the process that I could.
Well, you also, one of the fun things about the film is being set in a mental institution with all these lovely characters. There were none of those cliched scenes that we expect. There was no rape, there was no sexual assault, and in fact, when you had some action, you turned it down.
Hey, Roy's a good guy. Watch him out.
Was this on? Oh, it is. I was really drawn to the script. I thought that it was exciting, that it had a twist in it, and that it was very suspenseful. And I thought that it was a smart version of a horror film. So it was so cool to work with John. So cool.
Well, Peter, I mean, the neat thing about the film is, as well, as in this age where a lot of horror films rely heavily on like a CGI threat, this is actually refreshing because it's more of a throwback to older films like Val Lewton films. What attracted? Actually, are the screenwriters here?
They are. The Rasmussen brothers are here. If you'll stand up. All the way from Boston. There we go, the brothers.
So what attracted John to this project?
I'm going to actually turn that over to Mike and talk a little bit about that.
Well, we found the script and liked it a lot, and gave it to John, and interestingly enough, he turned it down. And so we optioned it and had a couple of rewrites done, and then we gave it back to him, and he said, "My God, this is really good." And so he just really thought, as I think you said, it's a bit, or actually you did, that it's a bit of a throwback. And he loved that aspect of it, and he had a good time doing it. And by the way, I just talked to him while the end credits were running, and he really thanked everybody for their energy. It really felt good sitting out there listening to you guys.
To answer your question even more, when we talked to John about it, you know, he felt that the trappings of the largesse of some of the movies he had been allowed to make, you know, with big set pieces and CGI and things like that, weren't really going towards the heart of the filmmaker that he was. And I think one of the reasons why he did, you know, return to the Ward, and Mike and Doug and Andy were able to convince him to do it, was he liked the contained environment. He liked that it was really character pieces. He liked that it was, you know, practical horror rather than, you know, computer generated. And, you know, it's really, you know, he said it earlier, you know, it's old, you know, it's an old style horror film from an old style director, but, you know, he's fresh enough that he realizes the problems with a lot of today's horror, where it relies on too much gore and too much CGI, and he really wanted to stay away from that, and I think he's done a great job doing it.
Do we have any questions from the audience here? Don't be shy. Yes?
I just wanted to ask all the cast, what was it like to actually film in an actual mental hospital for duration of the
Well, I'm going to direct this to Amber because we don't have time to do all the cast, but tell us about the location of the film.
We were filming in Spokane, but we filmed at a functioning, I guess it's a prison for the criminally insane, if I'm not wrong. It's great, maximum security prison coupled with the mental institution made for a quite unique setting, but one that was surprisingly very appropriate. And I think fostered a really good kind of creepy undertone to the whole movie. The whole process, arriving on set was its own journey, so I think it did as well.
They were more afraid of us than we were of them. So.
Yeah. You can blame them.
Someone escaped a week after we left, didn't they?
That's right, the day we left.
Somebody escaped.
Wait, there he is up there.
Yeah, I didn't get that instruction.
They didn't lock him.
They always prepared to chuck me on the... Yeah.
Yeah, no, a mass murderer escaped the day after we wrapped. Because they decided it'd be a good idea to take him to the county fair. Yeah, so when they're getting on the bus, surprisingly, -1. But it was cool, because he was just a mass murderer, no big deal. So I think they found him about 2 weeks later in Chicago. He made it to his cousin's house, because his cousin was going to help him get away. And thank God, the cousin had some sense and turned him in. So yeah, that's, mass murderer should stay in prison.
Do we have anyone else here? Let's see, guys, it's blinding me here. Let's see. Oh, yes, they're waving, yes.
Okay, the makeup for Ghost Alice was just super creepy. like how did that get added? Well done.
That was done by KMB Special Effects, Howard Berger and our very, very good friend Gregory Nicotero, and when you see Howard and Greg's name, you just know it's top notch. And John handpicked them, and if you look back at some of your favorite films over the last decade or so, don't be surprised, you'll see Howard and Greg's name all over them. So they're fantastic.
I was in there's a fabulous film festival, a fantastic festival in Europe called Sitges outside of Barcelona, which happens in October, and I met them around 4 years ago, and they did a panel discussion, and they had a clip reel of all of the stuff that they've done, and it's just incredible. They started off, the Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, Weird Al Yankovic's Rambo suit in UHF, it just goes across to and more recently they actually worked on Splice. So incredible career that those guys have. Do we have anyone else here? All right. Well, I'd like to thank you all for coming to Midnight Madness. And thank you very much, Edward, for coming. And thank you, Peter, for bringing us the film. And thank you very much